Guinness Six Nations, the opening fixture. Last year's runners-up France against Ireland, and it's a new stop on the championship trail as we come to Le Mans in the west of France for the very first time. Over 15,000 fans here this afternoon will wave the tricolour and make the Stade Marie-Marvin home to Les Bleus for the next couple of hours as women's rugby continues to break new ground and set new records. Wales taking on Scotland at Cardiff Arms Park later this afternoon. Tomorrow, reigning champions England taking on Italy in Parma. Well, it's been glorious sunshine over the course of the day, but also some pretty heavy showers. It's a lovely day yesterday, but there could be conditions to challenge both sides. A little fresher than it was yesterday. And let's have a look at those head-to-heads then. 21 meetings overall in the Guinness Women's Six Nations. France with the lion's share of victories. Ireland's last win coming in Donnybrook in 2017. And a reminder of that score in Cork. Margin of 50 points. Ireland have never won in France. That's the record. Last one was 40 points to 5 a couple of years ago in Toulouse. So that's the size of the task ahead of them. French Union continuing their commitment of bringing the women's game around the country. We're not quite as far north as Lille, where my co-commentator once spent a season with Lille Metropole. Delighted to say I'm joined by Scotland international Jade Conkle. And Jade, well, the French have led the way with women's rugby crowds, haven't they? Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Yes, they certainly have. The atmosphere is always electric in France. You see the flags waving, you hear the chants of Les Bleus, and you just know that when you're on that pitch, it's going to be hard to hear anything. But the French certainly know how to put on a party.
Yeah, they certainly do. France winning 8 of their last 9 Guinness Women's Six Nations matches against Ireland then. That 10-13 victory for the Irish in the 2017 edition at Donnybrook, the only exception in this run. Adele McMahon gets ready to lead out her side, of course. No Sam Monaghan for this one. We would have been hoping to be part, and then, well, there we've got some of the old players there. Just a brief shot. Some of those who've come to town. Jenny Murphy, one of those who I know has been here. Anna Caplice, another. As McMahon waits to get the Irish out and get this Guinness Women's Six Nations party started. Ireland have lost their last 5 away games in the Guinness Women's Six Nations. Their last one on the road coming against Wales 3 years ago. We know that they are a side in development. The history and perhaps issues well documented over the past few years, but new coach Scott Beamond in post ahead of their WXV campaign, and an opportunity to develop and grow green shoots among this Irish side. And as for France, well, they managed to get that great victory against New Zealand at WXV1, disappointingly then falling to Canada and Australia in their minds, looking to get a bit more consistency. They are an outfit that are dreaming of the biggest days. Two-time bronze finalists at Rugby World Cups. They want to go that extra mile. They know that Rugby World Cup 2025 is on that horizon. But this is the Guinness Women's Six Nations. This is Le Mans. And the two teams are ready to be greeted by this crowd. It's the 12th different location that France have used across their last 13 home matches. As we said, such a great effort to get the road show around the country, but also now to be coming into perhaps non-traditional rugby heartlands. Decent sales going on across the championship for fixtures taking place over the course of the next few weeks. set to be another cracker of a championship. Two teams lining up then. And we are just taking a moment as well to mark the fact that rugby and the Guinness Women's Six Nations stands against hate in all its forms, whether it's online, on or off the rugby field. No place for it at all. Right, it is time to hear the voices in the Guinness Women's Six Nations 2024 for the first time. In a moment, La Marseillaise, but first, it will be Ireland's call. A few new faces and some experienced ones as the anthem gets sung. Let's then have a look at the two sides ahead of this one, starting with France. And of course, they are under the coaching tickets of Gaël Mignot and David Ortiz now for a full year. In today's starting squad, a new Six Nations captain, two debutants, the usual sprinkling of class. Mané Ophelia taking the captain's armband alongside Madou Soufal in the second row, who missed last year's championship, with Romain Ménager welcome back after having missed WXV in the autumn. The debutant starter is Toulouse winger Kelly Albert, while Nazira Condé is making her first start in the Six Nations in 4 years, alongside the ever-impressive Gabby Vernier. For Ireland, well, Scott Beamon's in sole charge for his first Six Nations match as head coach, and his pack contains some decent experience. Gloucester's Niamh Jones rarely takes a backward step, and Adele McMahon will captain from the back as another one who plays in England's PWR. And Beamon, well, he'll probably be mighty pleased to have secured the services of Ireland's Sevens title-winning trio, Aoibhinn Riley, Bavin Parsons and Eve Higgins. And they hand their own starting debut to winger Katie Corrigan, who was in rich scoring form in the Celtic Challenge. And as far as the replacements go, well, for France, the replacement front row was actually the one that started against New Zealand in the win in WXV1, with Lena Tui, their second debutant. And Ireland's Delaney and Chute, just a third test match apiece for each of them. Well, Jade, a fascinating contest this afternoon. An Ireland team that, well, we know want to at least fire a couple of shots, but this French team are going to certainly know how to give any team a bloodied nose.
Yes, absolutely. We know the French, they want to play, they are going to jouer. I'm expecting to see lots of offloads, lots of dancing feet, but I'm also expecting to see lots of crunching tackles from the Irish side, especially from Niamh Jones.
Cat Roach is referee for this one. She's going to be assisted by Adele Robert and Maria Latos. TMO is Quinton Immelman.
France, ready? Ready.
Rugby's greatest championship is back then. The 2024 Guinness Women's Six Nations is go in Le Mans. And Pauline Bourdon-Sans-Souci, the first one to career across and take the kick-off. And Ireland's Lauren Delaney will just chase that bobbling oval ball to get her hands on it. Ireland need a couple of secure possessions just to settle those nerves. They will know what sort of battle they're in for this afternoon. As Linda Jungang just cuts back after the attempted tackle. Fowley puts the boot in, but Boulard was well positioned and uses the left peg to send it back down. But Fowley is waiting for it just inside the 22, steps just outside to send it back downfield. And it's well taken. Lina Kewa just having a little look to try and dink it forwards. Fowley read it well enough in terms of how much it had on it. And penalty goes to France, though. Boulard has looked to try and go a little quickly, but Fowley getting herself isolated.
Yeah, you can see what Ireland want to do here. They're very direct runners. They don't tend to beat too many defenders, whereas you look at France's defensive line, they rarely miss a tackle. They've got a 90% tackle success rate, so Ireland are going to have to move up, be a bit more invasive if they want to actually break through the defensive line.
Kewa back in the number 10 shirt. She was the starting fly half through WXV1. No Caroline Drouin, who she was trading places with during last year's championship. Drouin picked up a knee injury at LA Sevens. She's had an operation at the start of the week. They're hoping she'll be back for the Olympics, but this is the French engaging the drive after the line out, and Bourdon-Sans-Souci will happily crack the whip at the back of that for as long as she needs to. And it's still going forward. Bourdon-Sans-Souci with the break, and under the post she goes. An 11th try for Les Bleus for Pauline Bourdon-Sans-Souci. She scored 2 against Ireland last year, and she's opened the account with 2 minutes on the clock this year.
You can see that's come from a disciplined error from Ireland. Now, we know France's line-out is exceptional. Last year, it was the most successful line-out in the whole championship. And Ireland tend to struggle defensively, and that's where most of their tries come from. And that's exactly what we've seen here. It's come from a line-out. It's brilliant awareness from Bourdon-Sans-Souci and straight through the gaps. Brilliant try, brilliant vision, and France are already on the scoreboard nice and early.
We talk about a couple of possessions that Ireland would want to settle them, but that is precisely what France would have wanted. First visit to the 22. And unless Lina Kewa makes a hames of this, well, it'll be 7 points on the board for that visit. First time shot clock is being used in the Guinness Women's Six Nations. It's not going to put any pressure on Kewa. France then 7 points on the board.
Again, we've seen that lovely little line from Pauline Bourdon-Sans-Souci. She just spots gaps from anywhere. She's a slippery person to tackle, and you know you can't give her any space.
Yeah, possibly a question mark or two around where Ireland were defending around the fringes of that rolling maul, but it is going to be Fowley. Many wondering if the selection of Nicole Fowley was to get the kicking game rolling from an Irish perspective. Territorially trying to pin France back. Oh, and is that going to be a reward of a potential turnover? No. Kelly Albert was in a good position. Jungang opts not to spin that a little wider. Probably the right call, as Aoibhinn Riley goes in, one of those victorious players from Perth Sevens, historic Sevens win for Ireland. Oh, and it was nearly on to come back this near side. France have just got enough in number there. Hannah O'Connor took it up. Now then, Fowley once more, straight down this channel, as we saw a couple of moments ago, and that one will bounce into touch. Nobody there for Boulard to play with. And that will be, no doubt, more of what was on script from Scott Beeman's point of view.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Ireland are quite lucky there. I'd say actually attacking-wise, there wasn't too many options, so they booted it down the pitch and it's worked out well. Hopefully they can stay in the territory game and actually get into the 22.
Agathe Socha is just waiting to get the call from Anaëlle de Haye. Plenty of movement. Down it comes. France look to engage that drive again. Niamh Jones doing her best to try and stop it. Bourdon Sans Souce, this one coming down for Parsons. Does love to get on her bike, looking to see where the space might be, when it was eventually swallowed up, and she's met the clutches of the former skipper in Elmé. Christy Haney in there to give Ireland some go forward. Fowley, it's just a little loose out the back from Fowley. Wasn't too well taken, and did it go forwards there? It did. Just a little on top of each other in just trying to make those passes stick, Ireland.
First scrum, stability on each goal, please. Thank you.
Madou Soufal, wonderful campaigner.
I think just some miscommunication there between the Irish players, potentially running through the same line, so actually not fixing one set defender or two, running the same line, actually getting caught off the ball there.
France might be relishing this central position. A little bit more weight in the scrum. Ménager will feed it away down this side, but it's going to be the run around Kewa from Vernier, and then Boulard, and then a chance down the left side. Oh, the physicality to try and drive straight through. Marine Ménager was eyeing up the chance to score. That was certainly a low one for Madou Soufal to stoop and take. Kewa once more. Ménager was well met by three Irish defenders. France looked to try and come round the corner again as the stadium gets in voice with Allez les Bleus once more. Kalfaoui was stopped, but then it could be there for Charlotte Escudero. Solid Irish defence. Bourdon Sans Souce. Elmé opted to ship it on as the green wall came up, and Kalfaoui will set them the platform again. Vernier looking to try and run on that line. Ireland need to get numbers on that far side. It could be the simplest of walk-ins. Ménager, oh, played it back in field and it's gone forwards. Ireland drift defence did a super job.
That was brilliant from Ireland there. They've managed to keep their cool so close to the try line. Now the French are looking to play quickly and it's causing some disruption into the Irish line, but they're coping really well with being able to get off the line, chop the tackle and stop them. When the French are playing with that speed, it is really, really hard to get a dominant tackle. So Ireland are doing what they can. They're stopping the ball, but then they've got to fold round a bit quicker, because as you can see, there was a mismatch on the corner.
Socha. Thought it had come forwards off France, but it was a France line-out, but it certainly hasn't gone to plan, and it's back with the Irish, who'll get a chance to play it away. It's Dorothy Wall, back rower, playing in the second row. Fowley, that trusted boot once more to send it downfield. It goes from Ménager in for Boulard, and Condé is wanting it. Might be a one over the top for Abe, but it's gone out on the full. Interesting decision. That was the switch of play we saw a little earlier. So Ireland with the line out, in line of course from where the ball was kicked. David Ortiz, Gaël Mignot. French coaching team. Very happy to split the duties. And Ireland get a decent trundle on the maul here. That will please them. Niamh Jones is keeping her head down at the back of this, the Gloucester Hartpury hooker. More than happy to allow Ireland to take a few metres. Now referee Roach says that's the call of once. And Riley away for Brittany Hogan, and it's a good carry from the Ulster woman. Quick run from Riley as well, but in danger of getting isolated, managed to avoid it. Dalton gets in and plays it away for Jung Gang, who's well met. Ireland considering switching it down this near side. Vernier shoots up to try and put the pressure on Higgins. What about Gabby Vernier? Now a little bit more footwork over on the far side. Bourdon Sansus will get in. A little reverse ball. Good drive and the tackle though. Another dominant one from Niamh Jones. She tops that statistic in the Premiership Women's Rugby tournament back in England. Vernier spotting a little bit of room behind the Irish over on that side, but not perhaps enough for everybody to be on the same page, and Lauren Delaney can come forwards and tidy it up, and Dalton still outside the 22. Oh, might have got that just right. Super. Fowley. Gabby Vernier. She's just a pickpocket, isn't she?
She certainly is. She's small but mighty, that girl. She definitely punches well above her weight and very successfully as well.
France, we must be quicker.
Once being given the hurry up by a referee. May often the option, but it's going to go over the top again. Escudero was trying to get hold of it. Now it's been knocked on by France, and could be a bit of an advantage here for Ireland to use as Higgins goes into Condé. Released the ball out the back of the hand, a little chicken wing pass. It was meant for Parsons, her Sevens colleague, but Arbe got in to spoil it, so we'll go back for the knock-on.
Again, really interesting that France's lineouts haven't gone to hand so far. That's 2 overthrows we've seen, which isn't like the French outfit that we normally see. But we know that Ireland also have a pretty strong scrum. They were joint strongest scrum in the campaign last year. So they are going to put France under immense pressure if they keep having these handling errors.
Jade Conkle has had her head in the stats book and has got as many as you want this afternoon.
Love a stat.
Absolutely brilliant. Well, this is that Irish scrum. And this is Aoibhinn Riley looking to just get that in.
Too much space.
Molly Scuffle-McCabe, of course, the other 9. Elsie Hughes, the 3rd scrum half in the squad. It was Elsie Hughes and Scuffle-McCabe who started 4 out of 5 of the matches last year, but Riley back from 7s. They've lined up Fowley on the left side of the scrum here with Dalton and Higgins and Parsons. Oh, and it's penalty Ireland. What's going to be the option here? Signalling straight for the posts. Nicole Fowley, well, she impressed Scott Beamond at the Interpros at the end of last summer. She was player of the match in the win for Connacht against Leinster. Memorable win that. Actually had her debut for Ireland back in 2016 against England. She was starting in WXV3 in Dubai against Kazakhstan. That was her first start since the Women's Six Nations, well, 5 years ago now.
Thank you. Is it up now?
Chance to get Ireland on the board then.
Can we please have it on the screen? It wasn't on the screen.
Fowley, straight and true. The old guard cheer it on, as do the present replacements. Ireland have on the board as many points as they managed in the full 80 a year ago. Kewa. Bouncing, bobbling ball. The referee's okay that Hannah O'Connor tucks that on its way backwards. Fowley, just put a footwork to get away from Bourdon Sansu, sends it downfield, well taken by Boulard, and then for Romane Ménager, who will be hard to stop once she gets a big frame rolling. Arbet. Debut for the Stade Toulousain winger. And it's there, foul, lovely offload for Kalfaoui. Bourdon Sansu, they might have numbers here. Offload for Vernier, got the call, but was that forwards? We play on. Ireland go back to cover with Delaney. Under a ton of pressure, but Ireland have done well, at least to stop the further threat from France. Certainly looked for all the money a forward pass a few before, didn't it?
It certainly did, but that did all stem from the exit. Now, Ireland are looking to exit and they're kicking down the 15-metre channel, but we know France love a counter-attack. France's line-out hasn't been going too well so far, so the best thing to do would be to get the ball off the pitch and play the territory game and regain possession via the line-out.
Well, France have to start getting their line-outs right. It's another one that nearly goes wrong. Kalfaoui, at least this time, was in a position to try and defend. Oh, it's been ripped away from O'Connor. Super work from the 23-year-old. And it's back for Fowley to clear. Ireland need to work hard now to put pressure on the French as Boulard looks to step. They've certainly come up and managed to put that pressure on. Vernier there, and Bourdon Sansu will play it away. There's the skipper, Manaye Feleau. Little chip over the top. Kewa was right on the page to read that. Delaney gets it away for Higgins. Higgins was well met by Kalfaoui. They love that round here. Looking to try and get the turnover, and France have. Now, Bourdon Sansu senses where the space is. De A will ship it on. Ménager. Elmé switches play. But Ménager was right on the shoulder to continue the run towards that far touchline. Now Bourdon Sansu back in field. A little pop-up for Madou Soufal, who just had to reach slightly further for that. Ireland considering the counter-ruck. Kewa then for Vernier. Kewa reaching for the wraparound. Escudero, well tackled by Parsons. Needed to make that. Vernier again, having another little look, comes in, and it's the double tackle of the Irish centres. Opportunity for the counter-ruck. Ireland do it. Haven't quite managed to secure the ball there. Feleau for Escudero. In for Kalfaoui once more, who's done a fair amount of carrying already. France transfer the ball. They're getting ever closer to the line. Niamh Jones gets over on it, and she will win the turnover. Well, how Ireland needed that. And how Scott Beamond will no doubt be feeling pretty content over the first 17, 18 minutes already, because there have been some stern and stout moments of Irish defence which have stopped this France team that perhaps on another day might have believed the tries would come more easily than this.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, you see French looking for the offloads, but the fact the Irish players are up and making those double shots, there's nowhere for them to offload. I thought Ireland's defence was absolutely fantastic there, and they've really made an effort to put in those bone-crunching tackles that we thought we might see. Seen a lot of physicality from Kalfaoui already today. We're only 18 minutes in.
Yeah, we certainly have, haven't we? Niamh Jones has come back to the hooker, however it comes. Riley. A little bit more meaning and belief in the Irish carries. Fowley again. French know that they're going to need to keep that backfield marshalled, knowing that that's where the kicks are going to come. Boulard nearly falling over her own feet. Really big tackle. It was that way for big hit. Feleau. Trained on her own on Tuesday, Manaye Feleau. New French captain. Now then, Fowley was well positioned, and she wants to get this chase on. Gave the call to Delaney. Boulard is there, but met immediately by her opposite number, the Sale Sharks fullback.
Use it.
Escudero. It's another solid bit of defence from Aoife Wafer. Miss pass, looking for Vernier. Thought about the inside line. Ménager nearly managing to get away. Arsenal to be careful about those offloads. Vernier knocks it on. A few of those close quarters passes, flat at best, shall we say.
Yeah, but what the ref sees, they get away with, so... You can see France, they want to play it to the line. They are zipping it across. They're flat passes, really hard to defend, but Ireland are actually coming up and causing France a lot of issues.
Nearly managing to get away. I mean, it's probably at this point that we should consider a word on Declan Danaher, because, of course, he's been brought into this Irish coaching staff to look after the defence. I think we're seeing signs of it.
Absolutely. There's already a massive improvement from last year's campaign, and it's wonderful to see.
Worries, of course, that having had a successful WXV3 campaign with those big wins over Kazakhstan and Colombia, they squeaked past Spain. But then, of course, many of the Irish players taking part in the Celtic Challenge, they don't have as many that take part in perhaps the, well, very much so, the higher standard of the PWR. Just been question marks over whether they've been encountering enough physicality over the last year to really cope once they step back into this championship. And despite having conceded the early try, the effort has been decent. Dalton, good carry from the inside centre. There for Fowley. Up around, finds Raven Parsons eventually on that left wing, and then the quick pick. Ireland do well to hold on to possession. Then it's going to be for Dorothy Wall to make the carry. Fowley into that distribution role as Vernier brings down Jungang. Fowley wants the ball again. It'll go a little deeper this time as Dalton looks for the options. Oh, it's a big collision. Huge upending tackle. Nice ship on from the skipper, Adele McMahon, to Jungang. Vernier absolutely shot out to meet Higgins. Riley. Oh, it went backwards initially, but then Ruth Jones wasn't quite expecting it, just knocked it on. The French public will applaud Les Bleus' defensive efforts. While Ireland might not have made too many metres out of this France team, it was consistent phase play. And, you know, Jade, I'm conscious of sounding patronising to the Irish effort, but at times these are things that we've not seen enough of over the last couple of years. Yeah,
definitely. I'd say it's kind of a hit or miss. One minute they're great at one thing, the next minute that kind of dies down, and then they're great at the other. I think so far from what we've seen, it's brilliant. I think when they're attacking, you know, you're seeing that they've made 8 gain line successes, which is matching France. They are more than capable. They are actually fighting. They are par on par with France at the moment. They just need to maintain it for a full 80.
Catch pass has been more efficient. Clarity of game plan looks a little more efficient.
Absolutely. See Vernier there. It's not how big you are, it's how big you play, and she certainly puts in those big tackles. I think the scrum's been a really interesting area so far. On the last scrum, you could see France actually win the hit and put Ireland on the back foot, but Ireland managed to get their composure and then start driving France backwards, which is really hard to do once you've lost the hit. So brilliant from Ireland. So hopefully we can get, again, more goal forward in this and a platform to play off.
Voice of Jade Conkle, Scotland international, who, well, I'm sure would be appreciating the chance to be warming up ahead of facing Wales this afternoon, but we're very glad we were able to lure her to France when she played a season for this one. Emily Boulard sticking this one into the 22. Not too much of a rush in playing it at the back. Now there needs to be someone to play it away. Good carry from Hogan. Oh, opportunity to get away here. Hogan. Last line of defence needed to be strong. And the clear-out was good as well. Ireland have got good field position here. And the French defence is not ordered at all if they can find a bit of width and find some of those pacey sevens players.
Thank you.
Parsons will give chase, but Keroy was really well positioned to field that. But it is a little bit loose. It's fed away to Fowley. Fowley will stick it up. Delaney gives chase. Boulard on for Keroy. Sensing it's on over this left side. Condé was under pressure and has thrown a really loose one. And look at the benefit that Ireland will take. Their own line out, 22 metres out. Solid effort.
That was outstanding from Ireland. The lovely break from Hogan. You see her spotting the gap right through the back of the ruck. Now you can see Marine Menage on her tail when she makes that run. Terrifying for any side, having Romane Menage chasing from behind. But again, great identification of space and great pressure in defence to get the ball back.
Ireland Women's Player of the Year last year, but it's not gone the way of Ireland here. And the French, well, I wonder whether they might keep that in hand. They've opted to kick that away. Difficult one to take, facing the wrong way, but they do manage to do so through Delaney, who gets it on for Parsons. Was scragged. Now Riley's back there. It'll be in for O'Connor, who's been really solid at carrying and looking after possession for Ireland. Fowley. The game plan as clear as that. Get it away.
In front, hold.
Got herself well positioned for the return from Boulard. Wanted to try and give it a bit more that time, and it's not been read well by Boulard, who couldn't get a foot on it, so she'll play it away to a fly half. And Keroy looking for the touchline.
Inside, yes.
They were inside the 22 the whole time.
It's great to see Ireland trying to play more of a territory game. I'd say last year they definitely lacked in the kicks in play, so it's good to see them want to clear their lines and actually put France further down the pitch.
Dennis Fogarty, the man who works with the Irish players, particularly on scrum time. John McKee, another in the coaching ticket. Senior coach Larissa Muldoon as well, but that's another one that the Irish have thrown away to the home side. Calfawi for Escudero. Keroy. Menage. Ball is loose. Goes forwards. Vernier the first to get on it. Jungang was there to try and rip it away, or when she's managed to do so and turn possession over again as Hogan driven back. Dalton will tidy up. So Shaq came flying in to make the tackle there. Ireland losing territory. Fowley. Another well-measured kick. It didn't have quite the distance on it as before, as Jungang goes in to try and make the tackle. Does just enough. Mordaunt-Saulcius. Menage. Good tackle that time from O'Connor.
Your players trapping it in.
Kat Roach not being bought on her 9th test match in charge. First time refereeing France. That one's just bobbled past Delaney, who is going to be under all sorts of pressure from Elmé, as is Fowley, who's dealt with that incredibly well. Keroy. Boulard on her left shoulder. Keroy decides to come back. Oh, Parsons went in to try and get hold of it. Referee immediately going with the penalty, and Mordaunt-Saulcius is not going to hang around. Typical of the French 9. Got it away for Sochat. Ireland nearly got the rip.
Thank you.
Calfawi looked to bowl it out the right hand to foul, but couldn't quite manage it. Then it's there for De Haye. Still a little short numbered on that far side, Islanders. Vernier looks for it, gets it up for Escudero, who's still going. Escudero hit by Delaney, looking for the line, but Ireland look to have done the holdout job, and they have.
Goal line dropout.
It's another French attack in the Irish 22 that's not yielded points.
Pull up over the
They are getting closer and closer to that second try. Escudero must have thought it was going to come. Scored the 9th and last try against Ireland in this game last year. But certainly with 28.5 minutes on the board, you're not feeling like this is a game where France are going to score 9 tries again.
No, definitely not. Ireland are certainly making their job hard, but can we just take a moment to appreciate the leg drive there from Escudero, 23 years old and absolutely tearing up the power in all of her carries.
Ménager. Boulard lurking on the shoulder, ready for a number 8 to put her through the gap. Kewa. Fellaini. Double tackle. Bourdon-Sansus. Foul. Just got the offload away. Oh, and then the extra one. And it goes to Ménager. Last line of defence for Ireland is breached. But eventually the cover tackles come across. Vernier sizing up the option. Kalfaoui to drive under the posts. Ireland pull down the door again. Oh, Day knocks it on. Goodness me. There are great moments from this France team, and then there are moments like that.
Look at the offloading, the precision, actually buying and fixing defenders, creating the gaps for those players coming through on the shoulder is absolutely fantastic. You can see them wanting to move the ball.
Well, Anaël Deshayes, she was actually given the red card, you may remember, last year after 21 minutes. So that result that France got against Ireland, 53 points to 3, was with 14 players, but 5 handling errors to 4. The French leading a stat they would rather not be.
Yeah, absolutely. France have been in the opposition 22 quite a few times now, but we're not seeing much conversion rate based on the amount of times they've been in the 22, which they're going to be disappointed about. But you've got to credit Ireland for that. They are making it so hard for France to actually get the space to get over the whitewash.
Chance for both sides to regroup. French captain is, of course, 24-year-old Manéo Fellaini, as we just saw them in their huddle. Looks of Pauline Bourdon-Sansus, Gabrielle Vernier likely to be loud voices as well. Bourdon-Sansus captains Toulouse when Gaëlle Aumet is absent. She's in the leadership group with Les Bleus.
Show me good pictures from your side. Makes the decision easy.
Another big scrum opportunity here for Ireland on the 5-metre line. Perfect opportunity to get an 8-pick from Hogan, see a bit more of her stretching her legs and actually set up a platform to then clear from the 22 and play down the other side of the pitch.
Yeah, Brittany Hogan was involved in a bit of sevens, but she was in the back row throughout the Women's Six Nations last year. This is a key moment for Denis Fogarty's scrum to stay as clean as it can under this French pressure, which is coming on. It's played away from Riley. Ooh, she's nearly found a little gap as well. It's there for Dalton, who steps out of the tackle. Irish have got themselves initially out of trouble, and then the clearance from Fowley. Oh, it's a super exit.
Absolutely brilliant there from Fowley. She had spotted the space, found some grass, and it's bounced out. Albeit she did kick it in the 22, it could have been a clear out, but she's recovered really well there.
Kicking from hand from Fowley's been superb, hasn't it?
Absolutely. It's great to see, like I said, Ireland moving the ball more, actually getting a bit more kicking in the game, because that's how they're going to get further down the pitch, and you don't want to be stuck in your 22.
It might be as obvious as plan number 1 on the board for Fowley to keep kicking, but actually, I hope I don't commentator's cursor, but so far everyone's been pretty spot on. Now then, France from first phase, looking good once more, but Boulard, referee says happy enough that was backwards. Arbet into the tackle of Parsons, who may need to consider getting a little lower in those challenges, as foul is well met. Good effort from Dorothy Wall. Well, the French are all on top of each other, but now they might have found some room with Condé and Escudero, who's being encouraged into that wider channel, and Condé gets the ball back again. Ireland look to try and rip it away. They nearly managed to with Wafer. Bourdon Sansus. Hands turned up to the skies. Oh, it's the lovely ball back inside for Marine Ménager! They've looked for it a couple of times, and that time it sticks. 10th try for Marine Ménager in a French jersey. France have had to work hard for it, but in the end it was just that little ball back inside and minor moment of defensive lapse, and the winger is in.
Lovely, lovely back inside from Bourdon Sansus there. Great identification to actually call it from Ménager, and again you could just see her stepping through the defence, and it was a walk-in try. Beautiful line, beautiful communication between the two of them, great identification.
During your time at Lille Metropole, the Ménager sisters were there at the same time. Gabby Vernier as well, of course. What's your memories of them?
Brilliant, brilliant players, always welcoming, and again, just love for the game, worked really hard, and you knew that whatever they did off pitch, it was all to make sure that they were going to be better on pitch. Great players to play with, and great humans as well.
Good standard setters.
Absolutely. Albeit when you're in a tackling drill with the Ménager sisters, not always the best, but well, I mean, even Gabby too.
Last 5 seconds on the shot clock. Kewa gets the ball away. The Escudero fans are in. But that reverse ball, nobody else there marshalling around the ruck. And Marine Ménager celebrates. France up to 14, Ireland on 3. Fowley. Sligo-born fly half sends the ball back into that French 22. Bourdon Sansus. Definitely on the outside of the boot, but that will do very nicely. Ireland's line out.
Guys, too delayed. We just need to go quicker.
Kids are in, ready to join in with the Marseillaise after that second try from France. Jones for O'Connor. Oh, it's deemed not straight. Ireland tried to play, but of course no Nicola Friday or Sam Monaghan. That familiar combination that's been in that Irish second row. Hannah O'Connor named initially as a training panelist.
You can see France opting for the scrum there. I think having a few unsuccessful lineouts has potentially shaken their confidence in their lineout ability so far this match, because opting for the scrum against a strong Irish scrum so far in the game.
Crouch! Bind! Set!
Bourdon Sansus. Kewa want to jump to take it. Albé in off that right wing. Oh, Bourdon Sansus. She wanted to try and get in and hold on to possession, but straight off her feet she went in doing so. Gives away the penalty.
You can see refs being a lot more hotter on staying on your feet around the breakdown, especially in the pick and go area as well. There's no sealing off, and in open play in general, that's one thing they're looking for a lot more, is staying on your feet.
Ireland need to grab hold of their line out again, don't they? Another watchful eye of the referee. The last one not quite going straight. O'Connor got the jump at the front, got a hand to it. That's the footballing skills of the hooker Sochat, who's absolutely tearing after this and will get to the tackle. Safely away for Wall. Ireland will want to get out of here as soon as they can. Fowley has just dropped back, ready to receive this. Oh, but got a penalty to France after an Ireland obstruction.
Green, obstruction.
Ireland are going to need to be much more clinical with their line out. You can see them stepping into the line, which actually makes that throw so much more difficult, because when you've stepped into the line, it's going to look not straight because you're catching on the outside hand.
It was Adele McMahon gave away the penalty. She was injured and missed last year's Women's Six Nations. Well, this perhaps one of the greater signs of where the Irish performance is at, because the French are opting to take 3 points here, keep that scoreboard moving in a game that's been a lot more nip and tuck than they will have been expecting over the first 37.5 minutes. Kewa to add another 3. Cheers go up, the flags go up. France up to 17.
Thank you for speeding up the lineouts.
Fowley. To make that one a little bit more contestable, I think. They were hoping that they might get Parsons onto the end of it, but Fowle was ready to take it. And then Elmay with the carry. Ménager. On for Kalfaoui. Over a minute on the clock until half-time. Mordaunt Sans-Souci. It's a good contestable one for Albay to try and get to. Vivian Riley was bowled away from it. Jun Gang, a couple of metres from her. Dalton, Fowley, I should say. Kewa lining that one up. Fowley, ball inside. Delaney. France back line was defensively drifting across solidly. Christy Haney, Blackrock College and Leinster. Fowley that time. Oh, has it just touched the whitewash? Yes, it has. Deemed as a kick out on the full as a result. On the line is over the line. And France look to take it quickly. Entirely sure that's going to be allowed.
Farther than touched by another player? Okay.
There we go. Nearly took out one of our cameramen. So clock in the red. What have France got? Can they add a third before the break? It's back with Socha. Earning a 48th cap. Agathe Socha. Mordaunt Sans-Souci, Albay right next to her. Smuggle the ball to the winger on debut. Just swallowed up. Then Socha once more. Well met by McMahon. Then away on the far side. Now Condé with a chance to run on the outside arc. Couldn't quite get the offload away. Slightly overrun by Boulard, was it? Now the Irish have it. They've got a knock-on advantage. But the referee is going to say that will be that for the first half. Well, with France scoring on the second minute, you just wondered whether it was going to be floodgates time against the team in green. But certainly we're seeing the shoots of improvement, those green shoots of improvement for the team in green. Defensive effort has been much stronger. France with those 2 tries on the board and the penalty, with just 1 penalty from Nicole Fowley. For the French leading 17 points to 3 at half-time. Fascinating second 40 awaits us. Second half then, just moments away in the 2024 Guinness Women's Six Nations opener. France against Ireland, and the French leading by 17 points to 3. 2 tries in that first half. Bourdon Sansus with the opener. Marine Ménager then took the assist from the scrum half. Second half underway in Le Mans. Clearance kick. We'll take a bounce into touch. Chance to say welcome back to Jade Conkle.
Really glad to be here. I think it's been a great game so far. The defensive sets that we have seen from Ireland is absolutely phenomenal. We've seen France get into the 22 on multiple occasions, trying to stretch the Irish defence from side to side. However, Ireland, with their double shots, making it really hard for France to penetrate the white line.
Well, it will be interesting to see how France come out this second half, what might have been said by Mignot and Ortiz from what they've seen from this Irish defence. And, well, this is them coming around the corner again. It is opening up for Kewa. She was just looking for the pass away. Niamh Jones did well to stay in that inside channel and shut down any immediate option. But now it's going to be the penalty to Ireland.
Number 12.
Neck roll. Penalised. We know that the croc roll, as it's known, is also now being outlawed. A couple of new little laws that will apply directly. We are meant to be seeing a quicker play of the ball from the ruck and the breakdown area as well.
Brilliant handling, just the lines that you're seeing France run, they're creating those space and those opportunities for everyone, but in here you just see that crocodile roll, which again, like we say, it's ultimately leading into penalties.
Straight back down from Hannah O'Connor. Niamh Riley there for Wall. Talked about a grieving period after last year's Six Nations, Dorothy Wall, and we needed to remember what it felt like to win, and that's what the value of that WXV3 competition was for a side like Ireland. Lovely dummy. Oh, they managed to get the offload away for back in field there. The Irish might have had the run of that channel. What an Irish try would do at this point. That one might just bobble the wrong side of the corner flag. Looks like Ireland have made the change with Dana O'Brien coming out of the sheds for the second half.
Scrummer 22. Scrummer 22 is going down.
Taking over the duties where Fowley was, but first intervention was just to nudge it the other side of the flag.
Really nice to see her intent there. You could see her looking to get just in front of that corner flag. Unfortunately, a little bit too far, but again, the vision to actually see the space is brilliant, and hopefully she can just nail it that little bit more next time. Back to a pretty evenly matched scrum so far. Again, you can see the front row really battling to win those hits and then keep that momentum going forward.
The referee's been fairly generous on the Irish scrums when they've been going backwards a bit, allowing Riley to use. French might try and get whatever they can out of the scrum, or they are just going to use it first phase, and it's there for Condé off Vernier. Kewa was about to desert her post, but was needed to help secure possession, and it's there. Pump of the dummy from Ménager. And the players arriving on the shoulder well. Last tackle was just good enough, but Nane Efele arrived on the shoulder. It goes backwards, as you heard, off Ireland, though. And Davine Parsons happy to give them some go forward once again, but it's just been knocked on, and this will be decent position for a French scrum with the second half just 3 and a bit minutes old. Now, we are going to have a change for France. Now, it's an interesting time to make it, 3.5 minutes into the second half. I wonder what Marine Ménager has done. But Morgane Bourgeois is going to come on to take her position, and might be a bit of a reshuffle here. I think Emily Boulard will probably come across to the left wing as we just see Ménager arriving on the shoulder with Boulard in tow. Morgane Bourgeois, who made her debut actually against Ireland in the Championship last year at 15, and she was the starting fullback throughout WXV1 in New Zealand in the autumn. And Marine Ménager, well, perhaps just being managed a little bit in terms of minutes.
Finished off well there, a nice little twin thing, interlocking play there with her sister, so a good goal forward to come off from.
Maybe that's what they said they had to do, and then she can come off the field. Who knows? Bourdon sans Sousse then for Kewa. Vernier. Kewa on that run around. We've seen that several times. Bourgeois joining the line, then Boulard opts to try and chip it through. Delaney, goalkeeper style, boots it into touch, denying the grubber through, but France line out in the 22.
Condé there is running a beautiful line. She's actually fixing the defence. She's making two of the Irish players actually step in to create that space on the width. Without her running that dummy line, the space on the outside would not be there.
Almost in enough space to have been given the pass that
Absolutely.
time. Looking at that replay, but now Feller, the captain, rises. It's back with Socha. Continuing to rumble, and now a penalty advantage. Ireland doing whatever they can and collapsing it illegally. France play it away. Kewa looking for the crossfield kick. Not quite sure it's going to work out. Delaney was there. Ball's been shuffled forward, so we're going to come all the way back over this side. It's gone against Dorothy Wall.
Dorothy's done really well to actually get through the maul, but then just when France are about to break off, she's broken off at the same time, and then subsequently tackled the person with the ball, and she's been called for collapsing it. Jumped the gun just slightly, because actually her efforts to get through the maul was superb.
Jade Conkle, Scottish international, he played a bit in Lille, with us in Le Mans, as France look for the platform. Try number 3. Socha. 9 tries for a country so used to taking a position at the back of these mauls, which she will do again, but there's another penalty opportunity. Was there a bit of a head-on-head collision there? Socha certainly seemed to reel backwards, but it's there for De A. Penalty advantage being played. France get close again, Wall involved. It comes back. Feller going in with the right arm and then plays it away. Ménager with the Roman variety. Oh, and they look to just go straight through. They're short, as the referee says. Kalfaoui, is that on the line? The referee says no. Bourdon sans Sousse, Boulard to her left. Now they go through the middle and get the try. It's Madou Soufal, player of the championship, nominee a couple of seasons ago, missed last year's championship. I dare say she's in a fair few people's Guinness Women's Six Nations fantasy teams. Madou Soufal gets France's 3rd try.
Again, you can see, even Ireland there, they've given away an advantage there because they've hit early. You can see the hit coming in nice and early, which means Ireland have to throw absolutely everything at this defensive set, because even if they don't score in this set, it is coming back for the advantage. But again, rugby's a game of inches. France are working inch on inch to get it over, so they're scoring between the ticks, getting a nice and easy conversion. Really good patience there from France, but really difficult for Ireland to actually defend so close to that line, especially with Fall running right at you.
Yeah, no thanks.
High impact car crash, I'm pretty sure what we called her earlier.
Well, you've been on the receiving end of that, not me. This is Kewa. To add the 2. Would you like to tell our viewers your experience having been tackled by Madou Soufal?
Yeah, she has certainly put in a fair amount of shots on me, unfortunately causing a little bit of an injury, which I was then told was in fact a high impact car crash injury, which is exactly what it felt like.
Yeah, okay. Lovely.
Brilliant player, really physical, great to play against.
Yes, Gudero. Beautiful take on the shoulder, back for Bourdon sans Sousse, who's avoiding taking that one into touch. It's there for Delaney, back in for O'Brien. Kewa thundering forwards to take that. Was it Bourgeois?
Make sure 10. Make sure 10.
Kewa in position.
You could say Delaney really absolutely firing towards that ball there. Great decision to call the mark just to buy that little bit of time.
Plays a rugby at Blognac. Made a debut against Italy in those World Cup warm-ups a couple of years ago. Jones. No Cleana Maloney in this France squad. Been a bit of discussion about a potential return. Maybe that some of the higher-ups have a different view.
Keep that line blue. No blue out. Don't change. Use it now.
Good tip on. Good strength from Dalton. And then Hogan on the support. That's good from Ireland. Then it's there for Wall. Just had the ball under the right mitt and couldn't quite get it away. And Ireland give away a cheap penalty, really.
Green, side entry.
Dalton coming in from the side.
See a flutter of brilliance there from Ireland. But then again, they go back into that kind of slow one-up rugby and then make those silly little errors of coming into the side. It's something that you've got time. You can come in a lot more square, but we're given that Ireland are giving France just easy outs there.
We see Wall with the take. Yeah, you can see Dalton came in to try and remove Romain Ménager there. Straight in at the side. There were just 3 penalties apiece, actually, by the time we got to half-time, which was just in the sort of region that coaches would be pretty pleased with. Ireland making 93 tackles to France's 73 in that first half. Ireland making the change. Grace Moore, Saracens player, coming onto the field. One of 2 try scorers in their last WXV3 match against Spain. Straight down from Hermé. Midfield chip that Bernier is chasing. It's going to be a little bit too much for her. It went backwards. Boulard in a good position. Escudero sends it wide for Arbe, who's not had a lot of space to work in. Bourdon-Sansus smuggled on the switch line from Vernier. Look on advantage being played, as you can hear. Emmeline Gros is onto the field for France as well in those changes.
Use it. And it's over.
O'Brien. Not a lot of room to work.
Lovely identification of space there. That little chip over the top, recovered well. I think Romain Ménager did really well just to like dink it back, not actually knock it on, and again looking for the space outside. Brilliant cover defence and scramble defence there from Ireland. Perhaps 4 people to the 1 tackle, over-committing, so if France did get that ball out, there'd be a lot of space on the far wide channel, but again, done really, really well to just shut it down.
Zoom, please. Thank you. No, she's in.
So shot. Feleau. Ménager. Twists and turns. Bourdon-Sansus. Kalfaoui waits. Lost it out the back, but it might just work still for France as Gros gets up a head of steam. It was well chased. Escudero is pushed out of the way by Bourdon-Sansus, and Feleau well tackled by Jungang. Bourdon-Sansus not knowing where the option was and ends up coughing it up and going forwards, and Davine Parsons thunder into the opposition. Jungang, tip-on option, asked for and given. Room down the centre of the park if Ireland want to look for it. O'Brien has looked over towards this near touchline where Kewa is. Now Ireland to make sure they've got the numbers here. Hogan did enough to slow down the run. Escudero gets it back. Goes on the run once more. Just 23 years of age, Charlotte Escudero, really decent player. I have liked the look of her and believe she can be truly world-class, and she's done an awful lot of good things over the course of this match. And there is Gaëlle Armé. Played number 8 against Australia, WXV1. Also for the last 3 of those Women's Six Nations games last year, she was on the score sheet. Wales and Scotland. Plays a rugby at Stade Toulousain, who are currently top of the second pool of the Elite 1. I think we're seeing the big hits from Assia Khalfaoui, the carries and the hits.
Seen a lot from her so far today, just a big physical presence in both attack and defence, which is what you want on your team rather than against, but as we've seen, Ireland are certainly giving back just as good as they're getting.
It's not going to be our call for player of the match, but I did have a little word with Jade Konkel at half-time, and we had a little look at Assia Khalfaoui, didn't we? And we thought she's been one of those, putting it about. Of course, no Rose Bernardou in the squad, who was named in the training squad, but is injured. She did feature in that last match of the championship in Twickenham for France, but understand she will be in the running to make an appearance later in the championship. France with 3 tries on the board, not yet in bonus point territory, but look at the territory. 71% in favour of the French. The Irish have been struggling to get out of their half. This needs to get in and away, and it will do. Oh, and then the dummy. Love to see it. Super from Wafer, from the base. And then Wall. Oh, she's just thrown it away. Valea looks to the far side. Good link play from Armé. Vernier does well to stay on her feet and make an extra 3 or 4 metres. Bourdon-Sansus to the captain. Then on for Escudero. Steps back in. Just wonder whether the Irish are beginning to tire a little. Khalfaoui again. Condé gets through the gap, had freed the arms. Was that forwards? With play on. Ball back in for Armé on her debut. Armé going for the line and scoring.
You can see what it means to her there. Look at the smile. Scoring your first try on the international stage is such a special moment, and one the whole French team are congratulating for.
Wonder whether they will go back and look at the pass, but Kelly Armé gets a try on debut for France, the 4th try, the bonus point. Oh, now then. There we go. And our TMO is Quinton Immelman.
So Catway's going to put it on the screen for you. I'll let you know once it's on.
It's fair to say there have been a few flat passes that referee Cap Roach seems relatively happy with, but the offload from the floor here.
On the ground, pops it up forward from there. We'll get a closer shot for you now.
Definitely forwards.
This is the shot, yeah?
Yeah, you can see her hands actually moving forward on the offload. Maybe a slight overrun there.
That's the one there.
Okay.
Good vision, but slightly off accuracy.
Yep.
Okay, so it leaves her hands forward. Is it clearer from your angle? The screen's very far away.
That is clearly forward out of the hands from 13 Blue.
So we're saying no try, and we're going back for a scrum to Ireland.
That is correct.
At the 40 and about 10.
About the 10. I'll give you the mark.
Okay, thank you.
So it won't be the 4th try. And the bonus point.
Yeah, go ahead.
You can hear the crowd there disagreeing with that call.
They might consider themselves lucky that a few others have not come under the watchful eye of Quinton Immelman, but certainly in the scoring of that try, that one did. As Ireland make the change. Dorothy Wall replaced by Fiona Chu, earning her third cap. Anaël de Haye's effort is complete as well. She coming on for that third cap. She made a debut against Colombia off the bench. Oh, sorry, and off the bench against Spain. Second cap. De Haye replaced by Ambre Moyenbe. And all Bordeaux front row for France is now going to be slowly but surely replacing it out. Look at all the movement. France had won that scrum against the head, but the feed from Bourdon-Sans-Souci was such a tough one for Boulard to take. Trying to suggest that they should have had a penalty, I think, from the scrum, Bourdon-Sans-Souci. And the referee is saying, no, you want it, you used it.
Be interesting to see what France do here. There's always some change in mentality, so you can see on their attacking ball they're really pushing through Ireland, looking for that turnover, but are they going to do the same again with Ireland in possession?
Grace Moore both on this near side. It's there for Dalton. Dalton had players out the back but opted to give it to Higgins, and Higgins drives forward well. Ireland go the same way. Katie Corrigan has come screaming across to this right wing, but Ireland will continue to go over to that left where Raven Parsons gets going. Moore. Solid carry from Moore. Riley, Dalton stepping in a fair bit at first, receiver now with O'Brien on the field, but O'Brien maybe the one to receive now, and it's going to be the left foot kick, just looking in behind. Oh, it's lovely. Exactly what they wanted. France line.
Beautiful kick, and again that identification of space, looking for those edges, is really paying off for Ireland because they're working their way up the pitch. Now they've may struggled a bit with ball in hand to actually break the line, so they're using that kicking game to their advantage now to actually get within the French 22, where we've not seen them too much so far this game.
No, we certainly haven't been looking down to this right side too often. Moyenbe plenty of movement at the front, and it's going to be Fellier brings it down for Ménager. New skipper Fellier, really impressive in the build-up to the start of the championship. Grew up in the Pacific Islands, Wallis and Fortuna. French mother. Could be national captain for many years to come, you wonder. Now then, this is Corrigan. We haven't seen too much of Ireland's debutant winger. Oh, but that's gone loose in the tackle, and Escudero ready to prey upon it. And there is France's own debutant, Arbet, hoping to try and get that score on the board that has been ruled out, but someone went over the shoulder. Referee happy that it wasn't forwards. As Condé carries it in. It's a little loose, but Kewa gets hold of it. Vernier. Oh, good tackle on Gabby Vernier. Little tap on the back of the head as well on the floor. Moyenbe. Another good stop defensively, and the drive through. Chip ahead from Bourdon-Sans-Souci. It needed a take at the back, and Delaney has done that. Bourdon-Sans-Souci all over as it comes to ground. Now it needs to be played away. O'Brien. Back into the centre for Bourgeois. Boulard over to the left. Bourgeois has put in crossfield kick there for the chase to go on. Corrigan looking to try and step away. Clear out is being made on Boulard, and oh, looked like it was enough, but the referee was just perhaps a little delayed in making the decision. It was sufficient now.
Okay. Yeah.
One of the medics has just come on and is just having a bit of a chat with Grace Moore, as you can see. It may be that there's been a collision or an instrumented mouthguard report. Conversations going on anyway. In the meantime, there's going to be the change. Pauline Baudon-Sans-Souci will make way for Alexandra Chambon. And she appreciates the effort of those in Le Mans who have come to turn out and support them. Celebrated those 50 caps by beating the Black Ferns, Pauline Baudon-Sans-Souci. Not a bad way to do so. And Chambon, who comes on, actually started those games in WXV1 on the bench against Canada. Plays a rugby at Grenoble along with the likes of Gros and Captain Fillier. This one goes to the tail. France may look to do what they know works. Pushing towards that fourth try. It's back with Sochat, and they're making those meters towards that Irish line. Agathe Sochat. France get their fourth try this time. No doubt about it. Bonus point on the board. And Agathe Sochat gets a 10th try for France in her career. Job done.
That was beautifully set up at the back of the mall. You can see them getting the good goal forward. Ireland doing everything they can to kind of penetrate, trying to get through, but spun off, squared up, and then you can see all the backs running in just to give the forwards that little push over the white line that they think they need. Beautiful control, beautiful composure, and there again you can see them all running in just for that final couple of inches.
Well, Sochat's got the second try of the second half. She got the first try of the second half against Ireland last year. Opening up a considerable gap now on the visitors. Okay, what? It's another one.
We're starting to see France play that little bit more like we're used to seeing them. They're offloading that little bit more. They're looking for the opportunities. They're getting their hands free throughout the tackle, trying to find those gaps to actually run through the Irish defence.
11 points for the boot of Lina Keroy. France up to 31. Kalfaoui, head down and drive. Chambon had a look down the short side, nothing on. Vernier opts to ship it on for Condé. Bourgeois got the call back in field from Gros. Have just looked a little rusty at times on that support line play, France, from what we're used to seeing. They will want to tidy that up for some of the sterner tests that are coming.
Taking back inside.
O'Brien for Delaney. Good decision from Wafer not to give that. Hogan slips the tackle well, and then the cut back in field from Higgins. Hogan's been a really bright light for the Irish, hasn't she? Dummy run at that time. O'Brien, missed pass. Oh, lost by Corrigan. Knock-on advantage isn't going to be played for too long as it dribbles back into the Irish backfield, but
2 and 3 blue, sub.
just a bit of inaccuracy as Casey Corrigan tried to get hands on it. One of 8 uncapped players named in the Irish squad. Celtic Challenge, she's scoring hat-tricks all over the place against Brython Thunder, against Gwalia Lightning, 3 against the Clovers in the Celtic Challenge final. Confirmation of changes for France as Ruffonneau and Joyeux come onto the field to complete that front row change.
Perfect time for them to come right into a scrum and see what they're going to bring.
Crouch!
Some really young names on the Irish bench, so it's not too much of a surprise that Scott Beamon is trying to keep his starting three on. Condé, lovely line. May was the first at the breakdown. Kerouac said, get on with it, I want it. I've found the space. She did well. Dalton did well as well to track that back. Was that touched on its way out? Either way, Ireland still have it. O'Brien look to try and pump. Ireland a little guilty of being flat in attack here. And they'll get the penalty. Just seeing at times the first receiver's actually not got a passing option on because the rest of the line are so flat or almost in front of the ball, and they need to almost give themselves the space and believe in their attack a little bit more at times, don't they?
Yeah, absolutely. It's just that kind of downfall in comms as well. Say what you are and say what you're planning to do.
Boulard and careering in from off the field to take that ball. Now it's there for Chambon. Escudero. Oh, left forward. Could be an opportunity for Ireland here. They can get it moving. Higgins, chance to get on the outside arc of Elmé and goes around again, but pass wasn't the cleanest to Bevan Parsons.
Not bad. We're going back to the original. We've just gone sideways. Yeah.
Higgins did well to get on the outside of Elmé. Just wonder whether she should have stuck with the carry there and allowed Parsons to come in and secure possession, but referee generously bringing them back after it's just gone lateral more than anything. And now we've got another chance. Sorry, Jade.
No, another handling error from France, actually giving Ireland an opportunity to play. But like you say there, you can see Higgins stepping in, actually eating up the space. Good intent and actually moving her feet and being evasive. But again, using up Parsons' space, then giving her no opportunity other than to step back in or fumble the pass.
Well, congratulations to Katie Corrigan, Old Belvedere and Leinster player. One cap under the belt. And Maeve Deely comes on, who was the starting fullback through WXV3. Deely's just taken up a position directly behind this scrum. Ireland have got to try and maintain it, though, from the big shove, which they get. Groh did well to thwart the carry of Wafer. Jones didn't have much time there. Oh. It comes on. Penalty offside. One of the easier ones to give against Amber and Wayembe. O'Brien's going to eye up this corner with the left peg.
Can see a shift in the scrum dominance now since we've seen that change in the front row. Thought Wafer did really well there at 8 to kind of pick it up and try and set up a platform, but the defensive French back row there was phenomenal, putting Ireland under pressure.
Captain has completed a shift. Chiara Zago comes on. Won't be a name that many people know, just earning a third cap. On wearing number 19 for France. Ireland with the catch and drive. It's there with Niamh Jones. Gael Elmé is trying to ask a question of the referee. But Molly Scuffle-McCabe, replacement 9, is telling the Irish pack, we're going forwards, keep it up. Given the call at once, but that's going to allow O'Brien to join the effort, and Dalton. And Scuffle-McCabe's trying to do what she can as well, but now they're going to have to use it. They have to get a back line back into position to do so, which they will. Elmé, was she in an onside position when she made the tackle? A wry raise of the eyebrow from Jade Conkle next to me. Hogan drives forwards. Grace Moore is there.
Use it!
Chance for the Saracen to pick, but she will play it away. Give it to Syed McGrath. Earning a 9th cap for Ireland. Looking to try and make it obvious for the referee, and they will get the penalty advantage. Wise from Scuffle-McCabe. Moore plays it away. Solid carry from Chute. Want to go the same way. Jungang getting in the way a little bit. Deely was well driven back, but Ireland had the penalty, and Scuffle McCabe, is she going to take this one quickly? Wants the mark from the referee.
Please. Not rolling.
The speed from the Irish to get in the breakdown there was really, really good, because it allowed France to not be able to roll in order to get a penalty. And you want that penalty 5 metres from the whitewash, and they're looking like they're going for touch and go there rather than the maul, even though the maul was pretty successful in their last attempt.
Away.
Scuffle McCabe gives it away. France desperately defending. Ireland might be over. Is it Aoife Wafer?
Time.
They're celebrating the score. Oh, my goodness. They are celebrating, the Irish. It looked pretty good on first viewing, didn't it?
Quinton.
Kat Roach is going to go upstairs.
I
think I nearly called her Wee for A for there. So. Right, let's...
That's the right, Kat. I'll show you a
little
angle on that. So on for decision each try.
Yes.
Irish had the opportunity to go for 3 points.
This is the best angle.
Turning it down to go for more. Well, of course, you'd expect that they might.
So ball clearly on the ground, you can award the try.
Thank you.
Ireland score a try against France. They worked hard for it, no less than they deserve. And Aoife Wafer with the ball down, and the travelling fans with something to relish and something to cheer.
It was beautiful carry height there from Wafer. I think the impact she's had in this second half has been outstanding from both. Now you've seen her slot into the number 8 slot at the back of the scrum, and she's had to tidy up quite a lot against a dominant French pack, and she's done that really well. You're seeing some big hits, some big carries, and again, really rounded off very well with a try. Only 20 years old, and I imagine that we're going to see a lot to come in the green jersey.
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more. Really good contribution, particularly this second half, moving into that 8 role. Initial carry from Jungan got them that close. Scuffle McCabe seems to have just added a bit of positive energy as well.
Absolutely, she's rallying up the troops, and you can see Ireland, one thing they're doing really well is they're landing on ball with their carries. They're buying that support, that little bit of time, and able to set up a solid platform.
Lena Kerouac completes her duties for the afternoon. Wasn't the greatest clearance. So we've had news from our host broadcaster friends on France TV that the Guinness Women's Six Nations Player of the Match has gone to France number 5, Madoussou Fall. And just announced on screen, 15,500 spectators here, 15559. France on the edge of Ireland's 22 then, as Chambon pushes them on. Niamh Jones there, look at her staying in the fight as long as she can to slow that down. Chambon, Vernier, met by the try scorer, Escudero round the corner. Support on the shoulder was there for Zago, but didn't come to her. Condé over the top for Boulard. Chambon looked for that reverse ball. We saw it work earlier between Saint-Sus and Marine Ménager for the try. Ireland saw it coming that time. Ménager still toiling away with her back row colleague in Romane Ménager. Chambon. Clara Joyer. Typically strong carry from the Blognac prop.
Counter is good.
Ireland spoiling. Referee says the counter-attack was good, but now it's back with Wayembe. And the crowd turn the volume up as Les Bleus tiptoe closer and closer to that Irish line. Again, it's there for Zago. Only lost in a French shirt, Kira Zago, having played Australia and Canada at WXV1. Dad Lionel was a handy player in his day. Romane Ménager driven back A combination of Scuffle, McCabe and Higgins. Oh, Ireland have smuggled it away,
To get away.
but they've done so illegally. Now I think it's Sifa Wafer who is down. Looks like cramp. Certainly hope for the future of Ireland's championship campaign that it is no more than that.
She looked like a little bit earlier on she was struggling with a bit of cramp further down the pitch, so it's probably catching up on her after the amount of work she's had to get through in this second half.
Further down the pitch and further down the leg.
She's only 20, she shouldn't be suffering from cramp just yet.
Okay.
French crowd really coming into its own in this last 5 minutes, especially while they're really fighting in that 22. You can hear the crowd getting behind the blue jerseys.
There we are, confirmation that Madou Soufal is the player of the match. A big smile on her face. How they missed her in last year's championship. Here's the little highlights reel.
Such a physical presence all round the ball. Big player, great hands at offloading, and again, just the effort and the ability for her to carry through traffic is immense.
Try scorer just after half-time. Should mention Lena Thuy, of course, the debutant for France, who has just given them that field position. Number 22 on the back. That's a protege of one Jessie Tremoulière at Romagna. In for France. Zago brings it down. Round the corner they come. There's the try line at the mercy of Elisa Rifonneau. Ealing Trailfinders and France and scoring. Second try on a 7th cap. And Rifonneau pushes France towards the 40-point mark. 36.
You can see the quick setup on the maul here, a slight shift in the setup again, which means all the weight is coming through that left-hand side of the maul, allowing France to really get the goal forward, just shifting off slightly to the left, changing the body weight, giving a clear run through to the try line. There's absolutely no stopping a maul at that speed and a break-off coming through. Rain starting to come down now as well. That ball a little bit more greasy, a little bit more slippy, especially around that offloading.
Bourgeois gonna have to eye up this effort with that squalling drizzly rain. Oh, now, what have we got here? We're going to go and have a look upstairs. Quinton Immelman has come in.
I guess potentially some blocking in the maul maybe, but I'm not 100% sure.
Hedge your bets, Jade, hedge your bets.
That's what I'm going to go for, maybe a bit of blocking.
Getting the communication at the minute.
Now, just look at the ripper. So the ripper clearly breaks off behind. Show me that angle.
Take us from Kira Zago.
Just going to show you the angle again from behind now. This is the one.
Is it about the fact that...
Not a clear and obvious
So what
of a ripper breaking off.
What they're saying is Menage coming back out, so as a +1 you need to stay connected, you're not allowed to slip
I'm happy with
through.
that as well then. That's good.
Okay.
You can see
Secondly,
it.
on for decision.
Yes.
I just wonder whether Escudero was denied the tackle
Okay.
Yeah.
coming
Yes.
around the back. I don't know if that's... We didn't quite catch the beginning of that conversation in our commentary position. Perhaps you may have at home, but the try will stand nonetheless. Referee been shown the facts, happy to stick with the on-field decision.
You could see Menage come out slightly, but it wasn't significant enough to be pulling right out the back as a ripper.
Bourgeois gets the conversion. I mean, at this point on the scoreboard, it's unlikely to be too much of a concern of Scott Beeman's or this Irish pack. But France have scored over 40 points in each of their last 4 meetings. And given the 50-point margin last year, well, if they can keep this under 40 points, then that might be a small achievement in the development of this Irish side, particularly away to France at home. Tweed lays it away. Vernier looking to try and get on the outside. The tackle was good from Moore, and it's loose from Tweed, and it might be the try for Ireland. Oh, hassled and harried.
Maria, do you have any picture there?
Unreal pressure there to read that ball being fumbled on the ground, to come through. Potentially a little knock on initially, then over.
Green, so that on field is a try, unless you have anything in the lead up that prevents that.
We're going to put it up for you now, Kat.
Well, Tweed's knocked it backwards to begin with. Then Dalton's there. Don't think it's come off her hand.
It has.
I think Aoife Dalton has scored Ireland's second try here.
All backwards to me, I'm not seeing anything. It's in possession.
Okay.
So everything looks fine to me. I'm not seeing clear separation.
This is the last angle here, Kat.
So it's, I have it backward off of blue and clear surrounding by green.
That is correct. So
Okay,
there's no clear and obvious knock-on.
Okay,
You
so
can
second
stay with the on-field
contact.
decision.
Thank you.
Ireland get their second. Aoife Dalton putting on the pressure. She's had a decent game.
Outstanding read there from Dalton. The pressure that you put under that pass was just brilliant. She's seen France there. Again, the ball's getting greasy. They're looking for those offloads. She's capitalising on any mistake, and she's looking to do that throughout the whole pitch as well. So absolutely brilliant, and a well-deserved try from Ireland.
Well, Ireland get up to 17. Just going to check my records, but this may equal the most amount of points that Ireland have managed to put on France in quite some time. They're playing from the 22, though, with the ball, and no doubt with a little bit more confidence. O'Brien. And a little bit of almost empty turf in the middle, and it's been knocked on by Romain Ménager. Well, they've got as many points on the board against France as they managed in Donnybrook 5 years ago.
Mark's here.
It's brilliant to see Ireland with 17 points on the board, because they haven't had that many opportunities in the 22. So to have 17 points on the board shows that they are capitalising a lot more than they have done in previous seasons, and it just shows the improvement. And again, we've seen the improvements they've had defensively, so it's good to start seeing that in play from an attacking perspective as well.
It's going to equal the record points they've scored against France in 2008 and 2019 by my reckoning, Jade Conkle.
Love a stat, brilliant.
Had a quick look down the chart there. So that's not bad at all in terms of the development of this side. Big shove. France will get the scrum penalty. It's been threatening all game.
It has been. I think that's been a big work on for France over the last year and two. Is their scrum's probably taken a backward step, but I think clearly they've put in a lot of work around the scrum in the build up to this campaign and the World Cup next year, and it's definitely showing with both sets of front row they've had playing today.
Thank you.
30 seconds remain in the match. Rufano looking to the tail. Former captain Elmé will do the job, and look at her bucking, trying to get the drive. Nevo Dowd, one of the last replacements on for Ireland, earning a third cap. Can this French pack get themselves to keep going forwards in search of another score? Chambon. Vernier is loose. Boulard trying to reinvigorate the energy as Bourgeois is swallowed up. Riffono waits. Escudero comes around the corner. Good tackle from Moore. There for Thuy. Away from Moyambe. Into the 22 once more. Thuy again. Condé gets the hands free. Couldn't quite get the offload away though. And the advantage being played now to Ireland. Maeve Deely in a good position to scoop it up. Moore. Greasy ball. Lost control. Knock on either way. Draws at the final whistle. Will France get their 2024 campaign off to a solid start, scoring 5 tries at home to Ireland? But you have to give a word to this Irish side who heavily conceded 9 tries last year, and they have